you, God.
Thank you, Rob. Let's give Rob a hand. Isn't he doing a great job hosting? Thank you, Rob. Good to see all your beautiful faces, smiles. It's awesome. Boy, I had a couple of jokes, but I can't seem to find them. I'll take that. Wow, it's in here somewhere. I'd like to bless you with that. I'll see if I can find it. But all week I've been thinking, man, it's a hard act to follow. Rob Miller, our host today, spoke last Sunday. Didn't he do a great job? Isn't that amazing? Rob, you're a natural. And just the passion in Rob's heart, his humility, your transparency, sharing on the whole story of redemption, and then giving a good portion of your testimony of how God redeemed you. And I thought, how do I follow that next Sunday? But and Rob also said, man, how many have heard a sermon on hell? And in other words, saying, we don't really hear the whole counsel of God. And I thought, oh, maybe I should preach on hell next Sunday. Fasten your seatbelt. And then Wednesday at our house of prayer that we had here for Partners in Harvest, John Arnott got up in the microphone and said, we just don't preach enough sermons. And either of those topics I would love to preach today, and I've actually got material that is fairly polished that would, I think, go over, And yet I didn't feel to do that this morning, not because of fear in any way to touch on what can be a controversial topic. And I have been just in the last week or two, quite grieved to hear some statistics from a Gallup poll taken a few years ago regarding the church in America. There's almost 400,000 churches in America. Did you know that? 383,000 to be exact, but just under 400,000. But the Gallup poll showed that only 100,000, 25% of those churches, those pastors, actually take the Bible seriously and see that the Bible has authority in the believer's life. But the Gallup poll even showed that of the 100,000 pastors who do take the Bible seriously and see that it has authority in the believer's life, that roughly 10% of those 100,000 pastors, according to the Gallup survey, really indicated, based on answers to questions, roughly 10% of those pastors actually had a thorough biblical worldview. And I was just so saddened by that. I was just so grieved by that and thinking, Lord, do we ever need a spiritual awakening? The pastors, yes, believe that the Bible addresses political, social, and cultural issues of the day. But 90% of the pastors said, but I won't preach from the pulpit on those issues because I'm afraid of losing nickels, noses, and numbers. So that only challenged me to want to preach more on some, challenging things that pastors tend to shy away from. And yet I felt, as it got closer to Sunday, that the Lord was directing me on a particular topic that wasn't to do with the topic of hell that Rob made mention of, or the second coming of Christ, although I'd love to preach on that today. But so this is what I feel I'm supposed to speak on today. Get this. On the intriguing subject of feet. So I'm putting my foot down, and I can't find the jokes I had on feet. There's a page in here. Come on, where are you?